Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk about something that really has transformed the way I work over the last about 6 months, and that is Claude 3.5 Sonnet. There really is something truly magical about this model, and I want to talk to you about three things, three specific use cases where I believe it absolutely shines. And these are things I just have found that any other model just doesn't do as well. And I'm not the only one saying this. You will see messages like this across the internet where people will keep talking about this amazing model, Cloud 3.5 Sonnet, and even months after it's come out, in my personal opinion, OpenAI, DeepSeek, all of these do things better in bits and pieces. But it's the combined package that is Claude 3.5 Sonnet that really does make the difference here. Let's take a quick trip down the development timeline of Claude. The history of Claude has been really nothing short of impressive. It all started in March of 2023 with the initial release of Claude, which was okay, but we didn't actually get our hands on that to actually know what that was like. Then came Claude 2, which expanded the context window and showed some promise, and I actually did play with that one. Fast forward to March of 2024, and we got Claude 3. This was, if you look at that, what, about 9 months between the two of those releases. This featured Opus, Sonnet, and the Haiku models. Now, these were leaps ahead of their predecessor. But it really wasn't until June of 2024, specifically June 20th of 2024, when Cloud 3.5 Sonnet launched. This is when I really started to pay attention. Before this point, it was really just OpenAI in my mind. It was all I had ever used, and I paid the monthly fee and I was fine with it. But this version brought massive improvements in coding. Multi-step workflows, chart interpretation, text extraction, and then on October 22nd, 2024, they added computer use capabilities. And honestly, that's when I started to become really hooked. I signed up for Claude on August 16th of 2024, and I've been a paying member ever since. I even used their API very extensively, spending, $3 to $4 a day at one point. I keep trying to lower my costs by using other models, including local models. But Claude really is my main expense when it comes to programming right now. I still keep hitting limits now, but I'm better at it because I have other models I'm using throughout my day as well now. Now I balance between local models and Claude, and I also use DeepSeek. I'm using ChatGPT again, and I'm using Gemini. Because honestly, it can get very expensive if I'm not careful with the token usage here. But honestly, Claude is probably worth every penny with the amount of value it provides. So, what makes Claude stand out? Its coding abilities are for sure awesome. But really, to me, it is the whole package here. So, I want to jump into three examples of things that I use it for that honestly I haven't found another model compete with. The first, mermaid diagrams. If you're like me, you've probably spent hours or probably even days. Years ago, I remember very particular this one multi-million dollar project I was working on. There were two of us spending weeks on building the data model and getting it perfected. And I just think back to that and I'm like, wow, that is so inefficient today. But you'll understand how much of a time saver it is with Claude. I can go from a high level idea to a fully editable diagram in basically no time. Not only that, I can have meaningful conversations with the model about the limitations of my design. I can describe exactly how I want to interact with the data model via APIs, and Claude will help me refine it. Honestly, I can now create better designs, I believe better designs, in a fraction of the time. Maybe even 1/10 of the time. I'd go as bold to say that. and potentially for some things, maybe even 1/20th of the time. And here's kind of a cool tip. If you feed it snippets of your code, you can actually even get it to generate flow diagrams and other types of diagrams for you. Take advantage of mermaid diagrams and you will just never go back. It is such a time saver. The next thing is React charts. Now, whether I'm analyzing customer data or visualizing my AWS spend, Claude is amazing at generating charts for me. It'll process the data behind the scenes with Python. You could see it even pop up in the chat. And it'll build these amazing charts that you can even get them to animate. You can do things like multi-axis stacked bar charts to simple animated line graphs, heat maps even. It does it all. And the best part, if I need the same chart in Vue instead of React, I just ask and boom, I got the Vue version I can now plug in. I go back to the animations are so impressive. It adds like a really nice like professional touch without any effort. I haven't found another LLM come close to this in this area because Claude's got this package where it does React incredibly good. It's got artifacts, so artifacts can render it. And then it's got the data processing piece where it actually will take a CSV file, for example, and format the data into something the chart can use. It's just got like this amazing package to generate these charts for me. And I use them for everything. Pretty much daily, I'm generating charts of some kind, whether it's to report up to on something that's going on, talk to a customer about why something's happening the way it is, or even for my own personal needs so I can visualize the data in a good way. Try it out. I've got some examples showing throughout this clip here. Just try it out. You will be impressed if you aren't already using this. And the third thing, let's talk about building components. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been doing web development since about 2012. And when I went into web development, I came from game development. So I go from being a game developer to a web developer. And you know, when you're getting into anything, you love it, right? It's super exciting. But before long, I really started to feel the tediousness of building front end. But with Claude, the tedious days of writing CSS and tweaking padding, yeah, no, that's not for me. Claude can kind of handle that for me now. On this screen here, I took a snapshot of Asana's sidebar and I said, Claude, recreate it. And it got a pretty good first version of that. I could now have a conversation and have it tweak a few things, and it would be near perfect. So going from spending hours and maybe a day, like for a junior or somebody that's not experienced to actually create a component, you could do it in seconds. It's absolutely mind-blowing to me. This has drastically sped up my front-end development. Honestly, instead of dreading the process, I now enjoy like turning designer mockups into production-ready components in minutes. I've got a Claude project set up that I keep with all my styling and things that I wanted to use. And then I feed in a design and it can put it out in the format I need for my app so quickly. It honestly has made me love doing front-end development again because it takes all the tediousness away for me. And when I try this same thing with DeepSeek, for example, it will generate me a component, but it looks nowhere near as good. Like there is something special about the way Claude can interpret these images and turn them into code that has yet to be replicated. I am so thankful that Claude exists. Like it on a daily basis makes my life easier and makes me more productive so I can actually be working on the things that matter. Yeah, just in closing here, I first want to say thank you for watching this far. Um, Claude really does stand out because of the combination of features that it has. It may not be the best at any particular thing. Like there are certain models that I will tell you that I have better luck with when I'm building machine learning models. But when it comes to creating components, from images, or generating animated charts, or designing system architecture diagram, nothing really compares to Claude that I found. Plus, when it gets something wrong, fixing it is as simple as like pointing out the issue. Like I've taken images of the components it's built me and said, "Is this what you meant?" And it's like, "Oh no, let me fix that." And it's pretty good. It actually can correct itself as it goes forward. All right, to wrap things up, Claude 3.5 Sonnet isn't just another AI. It's honestly a tool that has changed my workflow forever. While I often focus on algorithmic challenges and benchmarks, I did want to just take a minute to thank Claude because these real world applications of how I use it actually really do matter. They're what allow me to build a business, create software, and actually solve problems on a day to day basis. If you haven't tried Claude, I'm guessing most of you, if you're watching it, have. I would recommend giving it a shot for the things that you need to use it for. And I hope the things that I've kind of told you about today are helpful for you too, if you didn't already know about these things. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like content like this. But until next time, you guys have a wonderful day. Peace out.